quotes from the two favorite historians and economists, Walter Williams and Thomas Sowell. And keep calm and blame the white man. And I've never understood why it's greed to want to keep the money that you've earned and not greed to take someone else's money. And this is Thoughts While Thinking, and these opinions are mine. And there's nothing so good that a politician can't make bad. And there's nothing so bad a politician can't make worse. Compassion is good, but politicians have turned compassion into welfare state and crime, and it's bad. And it's the politicians that's made it easy on the criminals that did it. And prior to capitalism, the only way you had to assess wealth was by plundering and looting. And capitalism made it possible to become a wealthy by serving your fellow man. That's a big difference. And social engineering is the art of replacing what works with what sounds good. Think about that. And I like and I appreciate you subscribing. And justice at all costs is not justice. And our founding fathers knew that democracy would lead to some kind of tyranny. And the term democracy appears in none of our founding documents. Their vision was for a republic and limited government. And now we've got police power in Washington and race separations and mass media misinformation. And that's an outrage. And the next time an academic tells you how important diversity is, ask them how many Republicans are in their sociology department. Think about that a little bit. And it takes considerable knowledge to realize the extent of your own ignorance. Well, we got a lot of that going on. And we got to look at the social engineering in the TV commercials. There's 70% are black and only 16% of the population. And it's about social engineering, but then they take this wealthy lady that become up from a slave and made a empire, Aunt Jemima products, and they took it off the syrup and the pancake boxes and the other mixes because it was offensive. That's a little bit to think about. And society has put the equality in the sense of equal outcome ahead of freedom will end up with neither equality or freedom. The use of force to achieve equality will destroy freedom, and the force it will introduce the good purposes will end up in the hands of people who promote their own interests. And I believe that's where we are right now, and I appreciate you signing up. And we look at all of this stuff on preponderance, and that's using the dominant information and weighting it. And we got to look at the black privilege and the white fragility, and we got to do something about turning some of that stuff into some that makes sense. And we got to quit blaming you. We got to blame ourselves for what we've done. And social justice can easily become class warfare that politicizes a nation, and while leading those at the bottom into a blind alley of resentment, and no matter how many avenues of achievement is available to them. Think about this stuff. That's where we are. And we got to quit focusing on racism, and we got to get back to freedom. And the passionate commitment to social justice is no substitute for knowing what the hell you're doing. And I think he's nailed it there. And since we're in the area when many people are concerned about fairness and social justice, what is your fair share of what somebody else has worked for? Now that's consideration to the putting your pipe a little bit. And social ism is a record of failure so blatant that only an intellectual can ignore or evade it. And that's where we are. That's what the colleges are doing. And it's messing up our whole political system. And helping those who have been struck by unforeseen misfortunes is fundamentally different from making dependency a way of life. Think about some of this stuff. Like and subscribe. I appreciate it. And if you want to help people, you tell them the truth. And if you want to help yourself, you tell them what they want to hear. And it's not about white versus black. It's everybody versus racism. And most people don't even know the term racism means. And one of the sad signs of our time is that we demonize those who produce, subsidize those who refuse to produce, and canonize those who complain. Think about some of this stuff. And we got to get rid of this white nonsense of social engineering. And the envy always is referred to in the political alias as social justice. That's the way it is. And no matter how worthy the cause, it's robbery and theft and injustice to confiscate property of one person to give it to another who it don't belong. Think about some of this stuff. They're nailing it. And the liberals hold whites accountable to civilized standards of behavior, but not blacks. From the liberal point of view, it might be even racist to adhere civilized standards for blacks. Think about some of this stuff. That's where the liberals are. And the government should do its job of protecting the constitutional rights. After that, black people should be simply left alone to oppose to being smothered by white parrotism from guilt. Think about some of this stuff. And you have a nice day, and it's adios amigos, and we'll see you.